During the star excursion balance test, the participant is barefoot in the middle of a star-shaped grid, standing on their dominant leg. The participant reaches the other foot near but not touching the ankle of the stance limb. The participant must maintain balance on one foot while maximally reaching in different directions along the star pattern with the opposite foot. The participant is allowed up to 6 practice trials in each of the 8 directions of the leg. The participant begins reaching in the anterior direction and progresses clockwise around the grid. These trials are administered in the 8 directions for each limb. For each trial, the participant reaches the furthest point possible on the limb in the most distal foot, while the tester marks his point on the grid line. Between each trial, the participant is given a 10-second rest, if needed. For each direction, the distance from the point of maximum excursion to the center of the grid is measured in centimeters using a standard tape measure. The average of the 3 trials is used to quantify reach distance.
I already feel dizzy doing that.
When both of the dominant and non-dominant legs are used, a 5-minute rest period is provided.
Oh, yeah.
Because I couldn't even stand on one leg for 3 seconds with eyes open.
Really?
Yeah, because I fractured my toe. So
Your big toe?
my middle toe. So I hadn't put any weight on my leg for 4 months, and I was just like, oh my god. I was just like, I can't even walk. It was bad. Yeah, my leg was so atrophied. It was half the size.
Alright.
Okay, so
So we do the same thing, but with your eyes closed.
Okay.
Ready? 3. I'm just gonna do the beginning and record it, and then you just continue on. Yeah, I'll say ready. I'll do the same thing we did last
Time
time.
lapse, or you're just fast forward.
I just cut, honestly, I just cut it.
Show them, yeah. And
I
just,
cut it when I'm done talking, and that's it. I
did
just use the
60
video,
seconds,
yeah.
right? Versus participants did 60 seconds.
And there's it's fine to record now because everyone's talking, so
Yeah,
it doesn't really matter. Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, ready? 3. So start the same way. 3, 2, 1, action.
I gotta say, don't play me.
3, 2, 1,
I told you. I was like, don't play me, Frank.
I'm just gonna stop.
I'm well above, I know.
Are we good?
Keep going. You're still continuing to do that.
This is the unit of the question mark.
You're fine. Straight. What's the swing?
I guess back and forth. Maybe you're drunk and you're stand up. That's what I think.
Yeah, you're actually trying to yourself.
Yeah.
I told you guys. I was gonna say, no way. Not for sure. I felt good on that day.
Non-dominant is actually a lot longer than 36 seconds.
Are we at 60 yet?
Alright, you pass. Alright, you're good. And then now we do the same thing with feet in tandem.
Okay.
So you do the same thing with your eyes open and eyes closed. So I guess you put your dominant foot. You if you
Surprisingly, this is hard work. I'm
So we're
surprised.
gonna do the same thing, but you're feet in tandem. So like this. Heel toe.
Oh.
Pitch position.
Okay, so obviously I'm dominant with my right.
My dog is doing that.
Oh, I have to stand barefoot.
So we're going to be assessing balance today. First testing start. So we're going to have the subject first remove his shoes and then stand in the middle of star directions. So what the test entails is that the participant raises their non-dominant foot just above the ankle. So they're standing there.
Alright, so here's the termination.
And they must maintain balance with one foot while maximally reaching in
If I
different
uncross
directions
my
in the star
arm,
pattern.
if I raise it on the weight and stand it when touches the
So
floor,
that's what we're
if I move the weight bearing foot to
stand for
maintain
the
balance.
direction that gets to reach the top of the foot.
Weight bearing? Oh, like I think.
Wait, we're not done with this one. We still have to do this one.
Trials in each direction.
We have to, no, we have to do it again with your eyes closed, eyes open like this, and then eyes closed. We can just do a quick start. So start with your feet apart again.
In the anterior direction and progresses
Okay,
clockwise.
we,
around the grid.
3, 2, 1.
3 trials should be administered in a direct manner. And it should be about a 10-second rest between each trial.
I'm gonna stop the video.
Right.
It's just harder.
It's a good balance.
I feel like it would be harder.
It's definitely harder.
So you're using like more inner legs, yeah, and more ankles, I guess.
Just to be the best.
During the forward reach, the participant removes their shoes and a yardstick is attached to the wall, parallel to the horizon at the level of the acromion process. The participant stands with lateral aspect of the left shoulder parallel to the wall. Making a fist with the right hand, they raise their right hand with the elbow extended to the height of the yardstick. The initial measure is the point along the yardstick corresponding to the distal end of the third metacarpal. The participant then reaches forward as far as possible without falling or taking a step. This distance is measured, and the process is repeated 3 times. The functional score that is recorded is the difference between the 2 recorded distances, the initial measurement and the reach. After 1 practice trial, these 3 trials are administered and the scores are averaged. The same test is administered with the left arm extended to measure balance on the opposite side. Again, an initial measurement is taken, and the process of 3 trials is repeated. We'll be assessing dynamic balance during an upward reach. The participant is still barefoot, and the yardstick has already been measured up against the whiteboard, and the bottom of the yardstick has been indicated. The participant stands with lateral aspect of the left shoulder parallel to the wall. The right hand is raised with the elbow extended to the height of the yardstick. The initial measure is the point along the yardstick corresponding to the distal end of the third metacarpal. The participant reaches forward as far as possible without falling or taking a step. The furthest distance reached along the yardstick is recorded. The functional reach score is the difference between 2 recorded distances measured to the nearest centimeter. After 1 practice trial, 3 trials are administered and the scores are averaged. The same test is administered with the opposite arm. The left arm is extended and the initial measurement is taken. During the Romberg procedure, the participant removes their shoes. We instruct them to stand with their feet together and their hands crossed across their chest. With their eyes open, we begin the timer and record the time in seconds before the participant begins to sway. If we get to 60 seconds without any swaying, then the time is recorded. If swaying begins before the 60 seconds is up, then we record the time that he was able to balance without moving. Glenn has been able to balance without swaying for the full 60 seconds. The second part of the Romberg procedure is the exact same as the first. The only difference is that the participant has his eyes closed. The time will be recorded before he starts swaying. As you can see, the participant is beginning to sway. The time will be recorded. Once again, working on the Romberg procedure, the exact same test is administered, although this time, with eyes open, he is standing heel to toe. Time will be recorded when he starts to sway. The exact same procedure is completed, but this time, Glenn has his eyes closed.
Do it again. I need a better one.
He lost his balance and time was recorded. The unipedal stance test procedure. The participant is barefoot and stands on their non-dominant leg, lifting their dominant leg off the ground, keeping it near but not touching the ankle. The time has been started already, and test will be terminated when the participant does one of the following. Either uncrosses or uses their arms to maintain balance, moves the raised foot away from the standing limb, or touches the ground, exceeds the maximum duration of 45 seconds, or opens their eyes if this is the closed eyes test. This test is then repeated with the eyes closed.
Damn it.
There it was. The active balance test procedure requires the participant to stand with their feet together and arms at their side. During this test, someone will push against the sternum of him, and we will grade how well he is able to keep his balance. A 0 means that he starts to fall and needs assistance to prevent the falling. A 1 means that he maintains his balance by moving his feet, and a 2 is that he's able to remain stable throughout the test. Sensory integration procedure. Glenn just finished standing up for a minute with his eyes open, feet side by side. Next, he will repeat the test with his eyes closed. He will be timed. He's just completed a full minute of eyes closed, and now he will switch to having his feet in tandem. With his arms crossed over his chest, he will repeat the same test with his eyes open. Once this is completed, he will do the same thing but close his eyes. The test is terminated when he either moves his feet, like that, or opens his eyes. With his feet in tandem and his arms crossed, the timer is started. His eyes will be closed. The test is terminated as soon as he moves his feet or begins to sway.
Yep.
Finally, Glenn is standing on his dominant leg with his other leg hovering but not touching his ankle. His arms are crossed and his eyes are open, and time will be recorded. The test is terminated if he moves his ankle, touches the ground, uncrosses his arms, or needs assistance. Right there. The same test is repeated with his eyes closed.